This is your weekly report on corruption in the Philippine government. A driver of a police car responsible for a bus crash that left 5 passengers injured along the EDSA carousel in Quezon City on Wednesday was relieved from his post. Colonel Jean Fajardo, Chief Information Officer of the Philippine National Police, said the driver, who is a police officer, would be facing administrative charges. Fajardo did not identify the policeman, who is assigned with the National Police Training Institute in Calamba City, Laguna. Quezon City Police Director Brigadier General Rodrigo Marinan said a traffic ticket was issued to the policeman for reckless driving. He said the police officer would also face criminal complaints. Dashcam videos posted by the Department of Transportation on its Facebook page showed the bus was traversing the southbound lane of EDSA when the police car veered to the left and entered the carousel. The bus driver tried to avoid the police car, but ended up hitting the railings of the Metro Rail Transit's Santolan station. The Supreme Court has affirmed the conviction of 2 Manila police officers who were found guilty of robbery and extortion. In an 11-page decision penned by Senior Associate Justice Marvic Leonan, the SC's Second Division denied the consolidated petitions for review filed by Corporal Irenaeus Sosis Jr. and Senior Master Sergeant Ariel Salvador. Sosis and Salvador were sentenced to up to 8 years in prison. They were also ordered to pay Abu's 20,000 pesos in damages. In 2010, Sosis and Salvador were charged with robbery before the Office of the Deputy Ombudsman for the Military and other law enforcement officers, based on the complaint of salesperson Janeth Abus. Abus, who worked at a cell phone shop at Isitan Mall, had claimed that Sosis brought her to the mall's administrative office to report her for selling stolen phones. Sosis allegedly took Abus to the police station. Salvador and Sosis allegedly asked 20,000 pesos from the victim in exchange for the dropping of a complaint for violating the anti-fencing law against Abus. When Abus negotiated for a lower amount, Sosis allegedly agreed on the condition that they become sweethearts. The victim refused and called her sister-in-law to bring the money to the police station. After 18 hours in detention, Abus was freed after Sosis had received the money. The Manila Regional Trial Court found Sosis and Salvador guilty of robbery. Their conviction was affirmed by the Court of Appeals, prompting them to elevate their appeal to the SC. Former Palumpan, Let Mayor Myra Georgina Arevalo and her former Municipal Planning and Development Officer have been charged for alleged illegal issuance of a cease and desist order against DBSN Farms AgriVentures Corporation. The case filed by DBSN on Thursday, the 28th of December, before the Regional Trial Court Branch 14 here stemmed from her alleged denial to sign the renewal of the business permit of the breeder farm in Barangay San Joaquin on the 25th of January, 2021, due to alleged environmental violations. She likewise issued a cease and desist order on its operation on the 19th of February, 2021, despite allegedly complying with all the statutory requirements. The closure made by Myra Georgina Lorente Arevalo was designed merely to harass the company for purely personal and political motives, as she had singled out DBSN. The corporation said in a statement. DBSN lawyer Gerentstein Banzon said the actions of the former local chief executive have resulted in the failure of DBSN to deliver fertilized eggs for hatching to other facilities owned by San Miguel Corporation. Based on the contract of San Miguel and DBSN, DBSN was obliged to pay and has in fact paid 110 pesos million in terms of penalties. DBSN has also suffered a loss of income in the amount of 84 million pesos with total damage of 195,252,970 pesos, Banzon said. A temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction were later issued by the Palumpan Regional Trial Court Branch 17, which upheld that DBSN has the right to continue the chicken breeder farm operations. DBSN further claimed that the actions of the respondents caused irreversible deprivation of a major food source of over 33,600 tons of chicken meat in the region. Chicken meat is the preferred meat source in Region 8. The actions of Arevalo and Pastor caused irreversible deprivation of a major food source of over 33,600 metric tons of chicken meat in the region, it said. To put into context, the total chicken meat requirement in Region 8 alone is approximately 64,000 tons of chicken meat. More than half of that chicken meat requirement was sourced outside of Region 8 because of the illegal acts of Arevalo and Pastor when it could have been easily sourced here in the region. The Sandigan Bayan has convicted former Mayor Apolinaria H. Balistoy of Cortez Town in Bohol of criminal charges in connection with the fraudulent use of the municipality's 105,000 pesos training funds in 2010. The anti-graft court said that while Belistoy insisted that she attended the training, the prosecution's evidence successfully proved that she actually did not. Belistoy was sentenced to 6 to 8 years in jail for violation of Section 3E of Republic Act No. 3019, the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, with perpetual disqualification from holding public office. She was also ordered to indemnify the municipality of Cortez in the amount of 105,000 pesos for her conviction under Article 171, falsification of the revised penal code. Belistoy was sentenced to 4 to 10 years imprisonment and was ordered to pay a fine of 5,000 pesos. She was also sentenced to 4 months to 6 years for each of her convictions on 5 counts of Article 217 in relation to Article 172, malversation of public funds through use of falsified documents, of the RPC, and was ordered to pay a fine of 105,000 pesos. The cases against Belistoy rose from the disbursement of 105,000 pesos public funds as reimbursements for expenses incurred for her and her son's attendance in modules 1 to 4 of trainings on local environment governance and the barangay agri training from May to the 20th of October 10. The prosecution alleged in the anti-graft court agreed that Belistoy took public funds by falsifying official receipts and certificates of attendance as well as other liquidation documents by making it appear that they attended and completed the 4-module trainings and barangay agri training. In sum, accused Belistoy is found guilty of all the cases filed against her. Sufficient opportunity was given to her to defend her cases and present evidence to refute the allegations against her, but she failed to do so and even jumped bail. The court said, it was shown beyond reasonable doubt that Belistoy used fraudulent and incomplete documents to reimburse for expenses of trainings and seminars, thereby making it appear that she participated when in fact she did not. It added. The death of a policeman who was found with a severe gunshot wound on his head in Negros Oriental on Saturday morning, the 30th of December, 2023, was allegedly caused by his own gun accidentally firing. This was according to the investigation of the Negros Oriental Police on the death of Police Staff Sergeant John Kelly N. Catedral. A police report showed that Catedral was driving his scooter on his way to La Libertad proper when the fatal accident happened. The accident took place at around 9:30 am along the National Highway in Sisiolok, Barangay Martillo, La Libertad town in Negros Oriental. However, witnesses claimed to hear a single burst of gunfire all of a sudden and found that Catedral has fallen to the ground. Responding officers arrived at the scene and found the lifeless Catedral lying beside his scooter with a severe gunshot wound on his head. Police recovered from underneath Catedral's scooter an empty cartridge of 5.56 caliber rifle. The report said that the policeman's issued firearms had been secured and would be processed by scene of the crime operatives. Catedral is a member of the Philippine National Police assigned at the La Libertad police station. The Office of the Ombudsman meted a 6-month suspension without pay to a town mayor of Mindoro Oriental Province after finding him administratively liable in connection with irregularities in the operation of a cockfighting arena. This is the second suspension of Mayor German Rodegirio, after his first suspension last March. In a copy of the order made public Monday, Assistant Ombudsman Pilar Talapitan said Rodegirio's suspension took effect on the 1st of December, 2023, pursuant to a decision handed down by the Ombudsman last the 31st of August finding the mayor administratively liable for simple misconduct. This stemmed from the complaint filed by 4 individuals, Vic Ruskinong, Wilfredo Candisa, Teotimo Famplum Jr. and Romando Recalled, who claimed that town officials, including the mayor, gave unwarranted benefits to the Gloria Cockpit Arena which did not have a franchise. The latest suspension order covers Rodegirio's issuance of 295 permits for cockfighting operations of the GCA from the 20th of December 17 to the 20th of February 21. The Ombudsman earlier suspended Rodegirio for issuing 127 permits in favor of GCA from the 20th of December 18 to November 2019. Rodegirio, meanwhile, claimed he acted in good faith and merely continued what his predecessors did when he issued permits to GCA. He said the issuance was based on municipal resolutions issued by past administrations and even during the time of then Vice Mayor Ramon Solis, who was one of the complainants. A barangay chairman was stabbed dead by a tricycle driver in Aguilar, Iloilo on Sunday. Cornelio Carcho, 67, of Barangay Santo Rosario, was declared dead on arrival at the Sara District Hospital due to a stab wound in the abdomen. Police arrested the suspect, identified as Jonel Amaba, 42, in a pursuit operation at nearby Anilao town. The victim was sitting in front of a commercial establishment in Barangay Malawan when Amaba allegedly stabbed him, according to Lieutenant Randy Lambungan, Ajay Police Chief. Lambungan said probers are eyeing jealousy as the motive for the killing. A motorcycle riding traffic enforcer of the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority hit commuters getting off a bus along the EDSA carousel in Cubao, Quezon City on Sunday, believed to be drunk. The MMDA enforcer, who was in uniform and equipped with a two-way radio, struck two passengers who alighted from a bus on the southbound lane of the EDSA carousel. According to a report of the Special Action and Intelligence Committee for Transportation, the passengers suffered minor injuries. The report said, the traffic enforcer was speeding along the EDSA busway when he rammed the commuters. According to SAICT, video footage uploaded by the MMDA on its Facebook page showed the enforcer was apparently drunk as he could not get on his motorcycle following the accident. A bus driver, who recorded the video, sought help from officers of the Philippine Coast Guard assigned at the bus stop and apprehended the traffic enforcer. The MMDA personnel did not yield his driver's license to the PCG officers and told them to stop picking on him, saying he was also a law enforcer. According to SAICT, the MMDA has yet to identify the traffic enforcer. Acting MMDA Chairman Ramando Arets said he has ordered an investigation into the incident. He might be terminated if he is a job order employee, Arets said. The Sandigan Bayan has affirmed its decision that convicted the municipal revenue collector of Santa Ignacia, Tarlac of malversation of public funds amounting to 343,000 pesos in 2013. In a resolution, the anti-graft court denied Joseph M. Patoy's motion for reconsideration, which alleged that the witnesses presented by the prosecution had no personal knowledge on the reported shortage in the General and Special Education Fund and, thus, their testimonies were hearsay. The court disagreed with Patoy. The court has already passed upon the issues raised in the assailed decision, and since there are no new arguments presented by the accused and it failed to comply with the rules of court, it becomes evident that the motion should be considered as a mere scrap of paper. A drunk soldier ran amok and shot dead 2 persons while injuring 2 others in Magpet Town, North Cotabato on New Year's Eve, authorities said Tuesday. In a statement, the Army's 10th Infantry Division said the suspect, Sergeant Alan Anthony Jimenez, is affiliated with the Army's 10th Civil Military Operations Battalion. The 10CMOBN operates under the operational control of the Joint Task Force Harapan. On Monday, the 10CMOBN commander surrendered Jimenez, of Barangay Patag, Cagayan de Oro City, to the Magpet police. Police reports said Jimenez, who was apparently drunk, was involved in an altercation with a person who checked him because he was driving a motorcycle without a license plate at crossing Martis in Magpet. Jimenez then left and came back with a pistol and opened fire on people standing near a burger store, killing LG Rapolitan on the spot. Another victim, Jason Torres, later died in the hospital, while others were wounded. Cases of double murder and double frustrated murder are readied against Jimenez. As a result, any administrative case or complaint against the personnel mentioned above cannot be addressed by the 10th ID. Nevertheless, the 10th ID remains resolute in its commitment to remind all our organic and OPCON personnel to uphold the highest standards of discipline in all their endeavors, the 10th ID said. The Baguio City Police Office in a press statement on Wednesday confirmed the death of one of its personnel. The victim was identified as 25-year-old patrolman Jamico Patenek. The police admission implied that the death of the cop was a self-inflicted gunshot. Accidents can be unavoidable in the handling of firearms, Baguio City Police Director Colonel Francisco Balwayan Jr. said as he emphasized the importance of adhering to safety principles when dealing with issued firearms to prevent such incidents. The Baguio City Police also ruled out foul play and stressed that the incident was a tragic accident. The police vowed necessary assistance to the family of Patenek. Every member of our force will actively contribute to ease the financial burden faced by the family, following one of the best practices of BCPO, the police said. It also stressed that Patenek will be remembered for his dedicated service to his countrymen as a police officer. His contributions to the community will forever be etched in our hearts, Balwayan said. A Sangguniang Kabataan Cagayan councillor was arrested after he accidentally shot a 7-year-old child in Dumangas Town, Iloilo Province. The Dumangas Municipal Police Station arrested Radney of Barangay Palagbig on Tuesday, the 2nd of January. The suspect reportedly took a 12-gauge shotgun from his room but accidentally dropped the weapon on the floor. The firearm went off and a bullet hit the victim, who was in their home playing. Radney fled but was arrested by the police in a hot pursuit operation. The Police Regional Office 6 commended the police for arresting the suspect. A Barangay councillor or Kagod was shot dead by a lone gunman on the national highway in Barangay Sali, Mangaldan, Pangasinan on Tuesday night, the 2nd of January. The Police Regional Office 1 identified the victim as Romeo Abrazaldo del Campo, 43, Kagod of Barangay Gilig, Mangaldan. Investigation said the victim was riding a sports utility vehicle with his live-in partner and their 6-year-old daughter, driven by Percival Mercado de Guzman, 33, of Calamba City, Laguna, when the suspect, Diogo Puleo Quillan, 30, jobless, of Candelaria, Quezon, appeared on board a motorcycle with no license plate. Quillan drew a caliber .45 pistol gun and shot the victim in the head. Del Ocampo was taken to a hospital where he was declared dead. The suspect fled on board the motorcycle. Quillan was apprehended by patrolling policemen during a running gun battle after the suspect fell off his motorcycle on the Kayanga Bridge in Barangay Tempragilig, San Fabian, Pangasinan, when he was hit on the thigh. Quillan was taken to the Region 1 Medical Center in Dagupan City, Pangasinan, where he is under hospital arrest. The gun was recovered from the suspect, who faces appropriate charges. That's all for this week. I'll see you next week with more stories of corruption and foolishness within the Philippine government.